Hi, everybody. I hope you don't get hypnotized with there's a wind generator thing next door, and the blades are going, so there's like a little dit, dit, dit. Anyway, if you get hypnotized and you find you've lost your appetite and you lose weight, well, I guess this is a bonus. Who knew? Just watch this tape every time you want to lose some weight. Up your plan. So anyway, welcome to my channel. If you are watching this on YouTube, you will find that it is Weight Watcher Cape Cod Woman. And if you are listening to this on my Facebook page, you will find it's Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Huh, who knew? This is so much fun. Now, I am taping this in advance because I am going to be doing this challenge before I'm asking you to do this challenge. So if it's not working for me, you may find that you never even see this. So who knows? Anyway, I am doing a challenge for myself right now, and then I would invite you to, and I probably would do a second tape with this or something to let you know. And I don't want to show it before I've had anything that I can talk about, but who knows? You know me. I love to do those bonus tapes. So, this is the challenge. Now, some of you did my weigh-in to weigh-in weekly challenge and gave up the wheat. And a couple of you, some older gals, like me, kept it up. And they are enjoying moving that needle in a way that hadn't been moved before. And so, and for me, giving up the wheat has been painless. And I'm not really rushing out to buy gluten-free substitutes, although I have some gluten-free crackers and some gluten-free granola. I'm not seeking out the breads or the cereals as much anymore, at least the cold cereals. I've got like 4 boxes that I had to rush out and buy when I gave up my kashi. But anyway, that is not about what this weigh-in to weigh-in challenge is. So let me tell you how I'm doing this. And you know that I am not on the grid. I am outside of the grid of like what people talk about, how Weight Watchers talks about things, and maybe some other programs. But the program that I'm ending up with doesn't really need to even be charted, because once you start eating the way that I've been eating, I find that my own appestat, my appetite register is changing. And with the full fats that I'm having, I do feel fuller, longer, satisfied longer, sugar cravings gone baby gone, and so forth. And it's so darn exciting. And you know, for those of you that did it along with me or are watching this and saying, why don't I do that weigh-in to weigh-in challenge? You might trust the process with this one and give it a week. Your money is fully refunded if you don't get some results, if you don't feel a little bit different. So, dying to know what it is? Dying to know what the challenge is? Well, this is the challenge. I'm doing it myself first, like I said. The challenge is adding extra virgin or virgin coconut oil to your diet. Now, I'm not counting the points. I'm just adding it to my, now this is day 1. So I am just adding it to, today I had my scrambled eggs with my, my organic scrambled eggs with my raw, unpasteurized cheddar cheese from Trader Joe's. And I added a half a tablespoon of coconut oil. Now, I want to tell you that, you know, you talk anything sweet like that you'd get from a high-end bakery, it was just as delicious to have this high-fat, 2-egg, 3/4 of an ounce of raw cheese breakfast. And I had it with a quarter of a cantaloupe, and totally, totally satisfied. Now, they say to have between 1 and 3 tablespoons a day, and they tout remarkable claims about Alzheimer's and MS and Parkinson's, and then as a little at the bottom of the page, because of course those are horrific diseases to have, at the bottom of the page it talks about weight loss, and how your sense of being just improves with the addition of coconut oil. So anyway, the deal is to buy your coconut oil that says either virgin or extra virgin. This gentleman said it does not matter if it's organic, because for the most part it comes from, I think he said Indonesia or something like that, where it comes from. And he said there's not been a lot of chemicals used in their food, so they don't have to identify a lot of their food as organic, because that's all they know. But then the interviewer said, well, they are letting some chemicals creep in. But then they both decided that, the shell of a coconut, well, it's hard to think that any pesticide would be sprayed on that could get in and work over the coconut meat and the water itself. So anyway, yes, so all of the weight loss benefits from adding it and not changing what you eat, you would still lose some weight. Now, there's all other kinds of claims and touts and everything else, and you can find all that information on Amazon, or if you just Google coconut oil. There are some wonderful, wonderful benefits to having it. And one time in my nutrition class at my shelter, I did a 50 ways that having coconut oil benefits you. And a lot of them were buying it, not only for your hair, your skin, burns, sunburns. They say it's a sunscreen. It's like one of the original sunscreens that people in those native countries where it's always very, very hot and sunny, they put it on just a little thin layer every single day. And their skin is beautiful, and they also don't get the burns that a lot of us would get on our beaches with our pearly white skin. And so I am doing this. So tonight, I'm going to just start with 1 tablespoon. So I had my half a tablespoon this morning with my 2 organic eggs and my raw unpasteurized cheese. And so tonight is our steak night. And so I'm going to be having the second half, so to make it 1 full tablespoon, I am mixing it with my organic sour cream and my half a tablespoon of butter to put on my organic Idaho potato. I am so excited. I'm telling you. And so if I automatically feel incredible results, I may air this sooner than it shows in the rotation right now. But that is my weigh in to weigh in challenge. I am not counting the calories or the points for this. I am just adding it in like you would add a packet of your chemical-laden sweetener into your coffee, your yellow, blue, or pink packet. I am just going to have this. I know that I am looking forward to this. I love the idea. Your brain needs oils. And this is one of the biggest myths that a lot of the food manufacturers, the diet companies, the for-profit, all these places, even Weight Watchers, they want you to think that if you eat fat, you will get fat. And I am here to tell you, I made the change to full-fat dairy, full-fat ribeye, grass-fed beef, and pork about 5 or 6 weeks ago with no noticeable change in the scale except the immediate 2-pound drop when I gave up the wheat. And since then it's kind of stayed stable. And I've added this stuff, and I'm telling you, it's just amazing. And they're right. Brains love fat. They need fat. And that's why I always laugh whenever I take my half an ounce of walnuts to work with me. And a half an ounce of walnuts is 3 points. I look at that and it looks like a brain, doesn't it? Walnuts look like a brain. So I noticed right away that when I started having my half an ounce of cashews or walnuts, and the cashews are raw, at like 3 o'clock when that drop happens, and it's like, how am I going to get to dinner? And having that with an orange that takes some time to peel, I wasn't hungry. I didn't have the hungry horrors. And I wasn't just faking it, like, will you ever get into my bloodstream so I don't feel hungry, so I don't feel like I've got to grab something? It did it. It just did it. And the fats for your brain, the omega-3s, help your brain. That is the fuel for the brain. Fats don't make you fat. Wheat, white sugar, chemicals, preservatives, junk food, diet soda, crap. That's what makes you fat. So one of the things about coconut oil, me not being a scientist or a nutritionist, is, I guess, the medium chain fatty acids. And that's what's important. And there's not a lot of places that you can get them. But they say that coconut oil is just about the most perfect food that you could have. And so, anyway, okay. So it's time for me to get ready to go to my meeting and then go to the organic farm to get some tomatoes for my caprese salad. This is the weigh-in challenge. At least 1 tablespoon to 3 of the coconut oil. And I want you to pay special attention to what you feel. Are you less constipated? Do you have more energy? Do you feel more sated? Like, comfortable with the food that you've eaten? Do you find that it cuts cravings? Like, in a way that, like, whoa, who knew? I want you to keep a log on this. As I said, I'm not counting the points for this. This is just I'm doing it anyway, regardless. But I'm just adding it in. It doesn't count. I started cooking my vegetables with it a month or so ago. And now I'm just adding it to my plate of food on the table, be it the scrambled eggs that I had today and the baked potato tonight. And I'll figure out tomorrow's meal when I get to tomorrow. But that's my deal. Weigh in. 1 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin or virgin coconut oil. The refined is what it is. It's got more processes added to it. So if you can find the unrefined, virgin, extra virgin coconut oil, and I've been scanning Amazon to see all the different prices of what it costs, that's the deal. And I can't wait to hear if you have results, immediate or slow to happen, but definitely a change, a big change. And if there's a change in the scale, even better. This is about the insides and the outsides. Until the next time, have a wonderful day. This has been Sarah, Weight Watcher, Cape Cod Woman, or Pearls of Wisdom and Food. Bye-bye for now.